Welcome to Popternative, where we dive into topical discussions from the worlds of pop culture, social media, and sports. Here is your host, Peter Remoliotis, aka PD Beats.
Hello and welcome to the Popternative podcast, the podcast and talk show where we have digital discussions from the worlds of TV, film, pop culture, social media, sports, music, lifestyle, everything really, depending on the guest. We talk about it all. As always, I'm your host, Peter Remoliotis. On social media, you know me as Peter Beats. You'll recognize my guest from season 2 of Love Island on CBS. We were Sher Suarez. Sher, welcome to Popternative.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. Thank you for doing this.
Thank you for asking me. I'm excited.
Absolutely. Whether it's, your experience on a reality show like Love Island, or whether it's, real life, family life, work life, there's always going to be kind of learning experiences, and you grow from them throughout. What were some learning experiences for you specifically on this show that you can kind of take in real life, Sher?
I mean, honestly, the whole experience was a huge learning experience for me. Definitely got me to get out of my comfort zone a little bit. So I learned how to be able to do stuff outside of your comfort zone and, not being scared about your decisions. Because, I mean, when it's in this case that it's a reality TV show, anything you do, you can't really take it back. It's already done and it's on TV and everyone sees it. So you kind of just learn to deal with your decisions like head on. I definitely learned how to live with so many people at the same time, which was very interesting. But honestly, it was overall amazing. I don't think I have anything bad that I can possibly say.
So a two-part question to kind of add to what you just said. I mean, one, I feel like it's kind of 50-50. There's a lot of people that go on reality TV shows that have watched and are fans of reality TV, and then there's also the people that have not watched or don't know much about it. So what was your kind of knowledge what was your knowledge of reality TV? And then two, when you were kind of presented this opportunity to go on Love Island, what was your just reaction to kind of the format of the show and everything?
Okay, well, honestly, I had no idea about the show, no idea anything that had to do with reality TV show. So I went in completely clueless. Even when I did find out that I was going in, I didn't want to research too much and I didn't want to know too much about it, because for me it was more like this is something very, very new for me and I just want to try it and have no information on it, just kind of see if I survive. So it definitely was interesting. When I got presented this opportunity, at first I couldn't believe it. I was like, maybe this is a scam. I have no idea what this is, considering I didn't even know what Love Island was. So then I definitely looked it up a little bit, and it just seemed interesting. It was something completely different. You don't date on reality TV. That's not normal. Usually people go to apps or, go out in the real world. But this was something completely different, and I was excited to try it.
The show was very popular. People are watching it nonstop. The social media interactions are crazy. The fans and everyone's interacting with each other. There's many kind of elements that will hit stride with an audience with Love Island. But for you specifically, Sher, after being on the television show, what have you kind of noticed are reasons why you think the show is becoming so popular? Is it kind of what you said about people are interested to see people actually attempt to find love? Do you think they like the format? Why do you think, in your opinion, the show is so popular?
Well, yeah, I had no idea that it was as popular as it is. And especially now coming out of it, I'm seeing all the interaction and everything that it's doing. I definitely think it's mostly because of just the show in general, the structure of the show. It has its drama. It has the fun challenges. It's people trying to find love in such a short amount of time in an environment that they're not used to. So it keeps it interesting. I feel it's an amazing concept. So people are slowly starting to realize that.
It's true. It doesn't happen in all the reality shows out there, but this definitely has the elements of the interactions and the drama, the interactions and relationships between the cast members, but also the challenges and the actual kind of competition aspect of it as well.
Yeah, it has a little bit of everything.
And I think that's cool. Moving a little bit away just about you specifically, I mean, besides the show, I mean, what are kind of some of your interests before in general? Like, are you into sports? Are you into music? Like, I mean, a lot of people, they watch, Love Island, and then they want to kind of find out more information about people they see on Love Island. Like, what are you kind of into hobby wise, Cher?
So I feel like that's always an interesting question for me because I'm into a little bit of everything. I've played sports growing up. I can definitely watch sports. I love art. I love music. I have interest in everything. I easily adaptable, very easily pleased. I do everything.
Absolutely. What I've also noticed is a lot of people that are on Love Island, they are kind of going on their show and then they're becoming more active on social media post Love Island. And then everything's kind of exploding. The follower numbers are going up, the interaction is going up. How have you been kind of dealing with that so far? Because it could be kind of overwhelming in the beginning because you might not be used to that.
Yeah, so I've always been pretty active on social media. I definitely wasn't expecting. I knew that being on the show and being a part of this experience would do something to it. I didn't know to the extent. It definitely is something that you kind of have to get used to because you always think like, yeah, I want a lot of followers, or yeah, I want people to be messaging me all the time and stuff. But like when you come out, since we don't have our phones, it's interesting to see. My phone actually like shut off completely right when I turned it on because I had like 730 something messages in my DMs. Like everything was crazy. So it is interesting to see. I mean, it does a lot. Your page grows a lot. But I've been taking a break. I told myself I wouldn't really do anything until today, actually, which was a week. So I gave myself a little week off.
Yeah, when you were shooting the show, they took away your phones. And I feel like that's something that happens in a lot of TV shows, obviously, but I feel like people don't realize that sometimes. Like, I find that's an interesting thing. I feel like people kind of watching might not realize that right away, that you guys don't have your phone. So I feel like it becomes like it could become overwhelming pretty quick because you're going from not kind of looking at it at all, and then it's like, whoa, you know what I mean? Because they're watching you on the show. The accounts are there. You're just not active on it.
And it's weird because I feel like everyone, at least all my friends that were watching the show, they kept saying that we thought you had your phone the entire time because you guys had phones on the show. And like they would hear that we got a text. So my friends kept texting my phone as if I was texting them, but then they were getting mad because they're like, why aren't you responding? You have your phone. We see you. And I'm like, no, it's not my actual phone.
Can you extend on that a little bit? What has the reception been from your family and friends about your experiences on Love Island?
My mom definitely thought it was quite an interesting show just because I mean, even my friends, I keep my dating life very private. Yes, I love posting. I'm on social media all the time. I love to go out. But when it comes to my dating, I'm usually very private. So that was weird. My mom was like, I was not comfortable with some of the stuff I had to see, but they overall loved it. They could see that I was having fun. They knew this would be a really good changing experience for me. So
similar to my question about kind of the learning experiences, I mean, you go on this show, it concludes, your experience on it concludes, and then it's kind of like, what's next type thing. You know what I mean? Have you kind of been interested or open to, different opportunities after being on a show like this? Like, do you plan, after the pandemic, maybe, to travel more? Like, have you ever thought, like what kind of is going through your mind right now post Love Island?
Yeah, well, usually, I mean, before Love Island, I was always in school, but I just graduated right before I got on the show. So I didn't think how much free time I would have once I left the villa. So that's definitely something I had to think about. And I think for now, I'm just going to travel as much as I can. Obviously, I have to be very careful with everything that's going on COVID related, but I'm going to wait till that calms down a little bit. And then I'm going to take some trips for now, keep working.
Because the question always is what's next? You know what I mean? And I feel like there's a lot of things that Sher Suarez can do post Love Island. You know what I mean? Obviously, you want to take some time to kind of think about it. You know what I mean? Because everything going on with the show. But yeah, no, it's just always next steps. because, you know, you might have an interest in something. Because I know that there's, you know, a lot of different people that you're on the show with, and, you know, you spent time with a lot of people, you know, maybe talking to people. There were some things and interests or hobbies that your like fellow Islanders are into that you were maybe exposed to, say, hey, I want to try that. You know what I mean? So that's kind of.
I feel like the main thing we all talk about is traveling. So it's funny because I was just on the phone with Mackenzie earlier and she's like, okay, so are we booking this trip and we're all supposed to meet somewhere next week? So I'm like, it's funny how that works out.
And another thing too is I mentioned, you know, hobbies, you're into everything. I mean, right now, you know, a lot of people are kind of watching a lot of shows like Love Island because it's like we live in like we're in a time right now where there's a lot of content out there and people can watch it all. You don't have to go into specific shows, but like what are some kind of what shows are you into? What styles of shows and genres of shows and movies are you into the most, Cher?
So usually I actually don't watch TV because I'm kind of always busy running all over the place and I usually work so much that I don't have time to watch TV. But during quarantine, I recently discovered the show Lucifer. Amazing show. I binge watched it. I am probably going to restart it.
Yeah, great show. We interviewed Kevin Alejandro on our show who plays douchebag Danny.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to go look at that.
Yeah, absolutely. No, that show is so popular.
And Selling Sunset. It's actually why I recently started studying for my real estate license. I saw that show and I was like, you know what? I love real estate. I love interior design. This is perfect.
And the thing is, you know, you mentioned, you know, you played sports, you know, you're into sports, interior design. You mentioned that, real estate and everything. I mean, you seem to be a person that kind of wears many hats and does a lot of things. How important is it for you specifically to wear many hats? And in general, like it is important to kind of get your feet wet in many different kind of things as much as possible so you're not limiting yourself, right?
Exactly. So for me, I've just always viewed it as you're not going to find the one thing that you have, like what that you're most passionate about until you try everything, because, you know, you can have little likes and everything, but there's always that one thing that you're going to be even better at. Which is why I always growing up, I just tried to test the waters with everything and see where my feet would steer, you know?
No, for sure. Absolutely.
And I still haven't found out which one it is yet because I still like everything. It's my biggest problem. My friends get so annoyed and it will drive me crazy.
Well, me too. Like I'm all over the map in terms of what I do. I do my podcast. I work in sports. I'm interested in script writing, like writing short films. Like I do everything and I kind of can't, like, a lot of people can't keep up with me either. So we're in the same boat.
But it's fun that way because, you know, you never really get bored. You can hang out with anyone because you literally like doing anything. So, I mean, I feel like it's a benefit.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Cher, thank you so much for coming on Popternative. I really enjoyed chatting with you.
Thank you so much for having me. I had so much fun.
Absolutely. So where can people kind of follow you on social media to keep up to date with everything?
Instagram at x.o.share. Twitter, I'm pretty sure at __XO share.
Amazing. Well, seriously, thank you so much for coming on the show. And thank you for sharing your experiences on Love Island. That was amazing to chat with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Well, this has been Popternative, youtube.com/Popternative for previous episodes. And until next time, this is Sher Suarez from season 2 of Love Island and PD Beats signing off.
Thank you for tuning in to Popternative. Make sure to check out our past episodes of Popternative on YouTube. Be sure to like Popternative on Facebook and follow us on Twitter.
This has been an Autograph Communications production.